all right, we're running with it. I didn't do a deep meditation. I did some purging and praying this morning. And I'm going to try to let this come through on its own. It is very hard to feel. I consider it a job to feel all of our feelings. And because, especially when it comes to like deeper stuff like purging, and moving through emotions, sometimes you don't know how long you're going to be stuck in something. And we can't see. When you've been through a traumatic situation, but you don't understand the impact that it made on you. We can't fathom that. And then on top of that, it's like, it can be layered because we go through these cycles when it comes to like releasing stuff. But the point is that it's a job, it's a burden, it's a gift to yourself and to the universe and to others to heal. And it takes your everything. It becomes your entire life. But on top of that, we have this spiritual warfare that we deal with, and this whole awakening process that you start to realize that the people that you thought were allies are not allies, and that people even the enemy uses your vulnerability against you. And I don't want to get off track. There gets to a point that you have to accept so much about this journey, and that you start to see so many things about like people around you aren't changing, and that the people that don't want to change and heal are just going to continue sabotaging and continue talking shit behind your back and all that, because that's where they're choosing to stay. But you have to get to this place of like, okay, that's fine, but I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I don't want to be a minion in your life that you just get to gossip about behind my back. And what I've come to realize is that the only way that's why sovereignty is, in many ways as well as many other ways, but like that's why that's such a powerful place to be in, because then other people can't mess with you. And it's an energetic thing. Like I felt I felt a shift yesterday, and I was very nervous walking into being with family, but I felt a level of respect. But it's because I've taken more responsibility, and they were not there for any of those times that I needed support. And that's the stuff that you have to remember, because my heart will always, and I'll always send them love, and I'll always care about them. But you have to realize that especially when it comes to stuff like money, and that's to me why it's so sad. It's so fucking sad, because it's like, it's effed up. Like I wish I had known I still would have been disadvantaged, but I wish I would have known that that's what this was all about. And I could have tried to find a way to get us out of it and get us out of the situation that we're in sooner. But instead we've been, I don't want to say trapped, because I am responsible, but when people don't speak truth, when they're not honest about what's going on or what they're frustrated about, or what's really bothering them, then they just keep you trapped in this cycle with them. But it's just a part of the journey. It's a part of the awakening. It's a part of me taking my power back. That's probably the biggest thing, is that it's like you have to learn the hard way that like giving your power away in vulnerable moments is very detrimental. It's very dangerous. But that's the other piece about this to me, is that it's like, when we have these deep traumas, when we have things like broken hearts and things that are very deep, like deep abandonment wounds, and we don't heal them, that's when you become dangerous. And I'm sorry if this is triggering to somebody, but that is dangerous. Like, narcissism is not a joke at all. It really is. I mean, I've been in that space too. I've been in selfish spaces as well, because when you're around that energy, you pick everybody, that spirit, it's a spirit. It's like you pick it up too, and you start having those habits. But that's why healing, this journey is a choice. And if you've chosen that for this lifetime, you have to just embrace that and know that the divine and God is so powerfully behind you, because I felt that yesterday. I felt this level of respect that came through. It was like my ancestors were like representing me, because that's the thing is, it's like you are solo in a lot of ways. It's like other people like find network and do these different things, and that's fine. I'm not saying it in a hateful way, but I'm saying like standing on your own, that in conjunction with all of the emotional stuff that you have to move through, that's very difficult and painful and exhausting. It's like, we deserve to be represented by our ancestors. We deserve to have our spirit guides back us up, and to embrace this journey and give ourselves the love and the care that we need. And it's like, you have to get mad, because it's like, not mad in the sense of like just reacting, because that doesn't help, but you have to stand your ground and not let anything else sway you anymore. Because I'm saying this as someone who's like, I wish I had realized this 2 years ago, y'all. Like it's been because that's what happens is like when you're giving your power away and people are helping you, but they're really trying to sabotage you behind your back. It's like, that's not helping. That's not support. I feel like this message was really jumbled. We have a kind of a crazy mix of cards. There's a lot of reverse wand energy. So there's a lot of frustration. And so I know that what I'm coming out with, a lot of people are feeling right now. There's a lot of anger and frustration, because that's what sucks about waking up to these kinds of things. That it's like, you have to keep on, and you can't just get yourself out of the situation that you're in, but you don't also have the support, and you don't have your soul tribe with you or whatever, and that you're the one doing the hard work, because it's scary, because people will still be nice to your face. That's why it's so scary. It's like, it's a constant, I think that was reversed. It's a constant having to stand in your power, because we have to forgive and purge yourself, because that will help you release all of it and realize that that's the thing. It's like, hurt people are going to hurt people. Does it make it better when you're still stuck in those situations? No, but it is a reminder that what you're doing, especially like, I think this I don't know what it's like for men, but I know that like pain and like emotional stuff, that's so much harder. But it's like, we have to remember that like doing all this and this emotional work is so intense, and there's something bigger, that releasing all this emotion and moving through it is giving back. Because you just start to realize that you're like, all of this stuff that I'm having to feel, like I was numb before. Like there has to be this purpose to this. Plus that's where the wisdom comes. That's where the clarity comes. That's where the truth comes. Like, yes, I get intuitive hits like all the time, but like I wasn't getting it before I was moving through my emotions, before I'd hit rock bottom. Like those things weren't coming to me before that. So it's like, you have to accept the terms and conditions, whether you like it or not. There's times where it's just like, you just want to run, and it's hard. But all right, hopefully that gave somebody something. We do have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So you're feeling inspired, and we have the Four of Swords reversed. So that's saying that we're moving out of a place of rest. Hangman is reversed. So maybe you're struggling with that, like this, kind of like you're struggling with that part of the surrender of the journey. It's hard when you're like, feel like you can't make moves too. That trapped feeling, that's got to get everybody. It's just tough. And we have the Magician on the bottom, and that to me is that reminder that, and then the Ten of Cups, you are the magician, you're the alchemist, and that's such a powerful thing. And then, another thing you have to accept is that you're not going to get a lot of, you're not going to get a lot of validation for that. And that's, no, it's just me. I'm like, come on, give it to me. I think it's just over time, it gets really, really hard not feeling like you are respected for your work or, for all of the things that you're doing and putting in. But it's like, you have to remember too, that people are afraid of that. And it's not like I want people to be intimidated. I don't like, especially the jealousy, like that's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. And, but they're not going to you're never going to get like that strong validation that you seek, because it's about it's about killing off the ego, or not killing it off, but like taming the ego and dying to the ego. So if people were constantly like, oh, you're such a good alchemist, or, oh, you deal with pain so well, like that's not the world that we live in. So not everybody is an alchemist. So, that's an interesting piece that came to me about that. But, that's why not everybody is doing this and doing this work, because it's very insanely hard sometimes. And then there's all of these amazing moments. And I think that those who are on this journey, like, you live for the subtleties, you live for the moments of truth, you live for the breakthroughs, you live for the peace and the calm. And you have to remember that it's like other people are living in chaos, they're living in stress all the time. And if people, because that's the thing, is like, if everyone I don't know, because there's so much pain that you have to work through, if everybody would choose it. But it's like, I know that the people that, last piece, the people that have like not been there for me the way that I needed, or were backstabbing me or gossiping, whatever, like it's like, I don't know if I want to say second nature, but like, it's almost like it's not even personal. I do think there's been times of like others feeling competitive and feeling this intense jealousy or even hatred, that it was personal. But those times were really few. Like, most of the time it's like that they're people who gossip are gossiping all the time. Like they're not seeing it as like sending someone spell work. They're not seeing it in that way. So they need that forgiveness, and it's like, that's the part of the journey that you just accept. And that's why, to me, all of this emotional stuff that we're working through has this higher they're giving me confirmation. It's like, there is this reason for it. And it's because not everybody's willing to take it on. But it's like, I can't, this is the last part for real. Like, I thought about that with the journey with my child, because I'm like, so much of another reason why is where I can't move faster or move forward quicker is because I do what I do every day. And I'm so grateful for the healing work that has helped me to be a better guardian for him, and to be able to hold more space for him and be there for him. And so many times we may have been in public, but there wasn't anybody there, or that, I'm trying to wrap this up. There have been times where my family has witnessed it, and they've had interesting reactions. And I don't know, that might be a separate story time. But it didn't make them want to step up and be there more for me. And that's what's so interesting about so many things that happened, because I know there were times then that God came through of like, hey, you can use this as an opportunity to open up and heal. But there's some people, there's so much, and I know, because I know some of the people that around me, that their backstories are really, really intense. And I do imagine that over time it gets harder and harder to open back up and heal. But that's where I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I don't want to deal with the repercussions of that anymore. Like, I love you. I send you love. I send you strength. I send you hope. I send you healing. But I don't want to deal with the backlash anymore. But I have to get myself to a place of sovereignty that I'm not needing them anymore in order to do that. So know that all of the inner work that you're doing is so, so powerful, and that you are a magician, period. If you work through your emotions and you don't lash out at people, you are an alchemist. So be incredibly proud of yourself. Give yourself what you need. give yourself time. And I'm going to try to make this note today too, because it's like, I'll get back in depression if I don't find ways to play. So find a way to play and let your inner child have moments, because that's so beautiful, and it will help you to not stay stuck in lower vibrations. That was really long. So just breathe, y'all. Know that what you're doing is so powerful and such important work, and the rewards will be there. And a lot of times it is those subtleties that truly, I know that touches somebody, that's what we really live for. All right.